I feel like I say this at the start of every review, but this chapter was fucking amazing. Oda, you mad lad, you did it again with One Piece Chapter 1028, Brachiosnakeus. And before we get into the review itself, I just want to say that the color spread this week is just absolutely amazing. For anyone not living under a rock, there was a lot of Nintendo-based stuff. I didn't pay too much attention to it, but I know that there were big Smash reveals at least, so it's actually kind of nice to see that partially line up with a video game-based color spread. So that's very sweet. I love that. Now, this chapter, we start off seeing the CP0 conversation between Rob Lucci and the still nameless guy that we've kind of just followed throughout Wano. So, CP0 is basically going to try and go for Robin again. That's pretty, well, not again, but Rob Lucci wants to go after Robin again. The world government is going after Robin again. So, hopefully this doesn't exactly lead up to an Enies Lobby point 2, but I'll trust Oda. Nonetheless, the Marines and the world government are about to try and take over Wano once Kaido gets defeated. And there are a lot of different ways that could go. Mainly, yes, our main fighters will be near dead and out, but there are two things. With King, Queen, and a few others potentially going down the next couple chapters, that basically leaves the rest of the Alliance with no enemies to fight, so maybe they'll fight the Marines. And then there's still the remaining Big Mom pirates. Even if they're not at the big burst of Wano, they are currently in between Wano and the Marines. Until Big Mom and Sparrow's half-dead body or corpse or unconsciousness are back on the Mama Shantar, chances are they're gonna have to at least, involuntarily fight off the Marines just to save be around for their mother. They don't need the Marines messing with Big Mom while they have no idea what she's even doing to begin with. So there's that possibility as well. So we'll have to see how all that plays out. It's also the scenario of where Drake would end up siding with at this point, but he doesn't like CP0 at the very least. Possibly Luffy, but it depends on what makes up the world government forces. Will it be Marines entirely, or mostly Cypher Pol agents? If it's a mix and there's Marines within there, then yeah, they might have to go in and Drake will have to side with them at that point, if they're even aware he's undercover. Because frankly, if they don't know he's undercover, he's just as much of a threat to them as any other pirate on that island, and he would still have to play along with Luffy. Plus, if it is mostly, world government Cypher Pol agents, because remember, the Marines right now are mostly kind of busy with the warlords. So maybe ships are the same, because I heard people considering the ships might be different. The ships are all world government ships. Doesn't matter if it has Marine or world government flag on it. All that matters is, do the people on the ship know Drake is still one of them? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if the Marines are world government. If they don't know he's undercover, they're gonna kill him. Simple. But that's just me digressing. We do see, that Brooke is still with Robin, and she's finally conscious again. So if anyone does try and come after her, at least Brooke's still in the area. But we do have a lot of different wild cards running around, such as Yamato, who in this chapter we figure out did split up with Momo. And while she didn't say exactly what she's going to do, she's at least going to try and do something to take care of the weapons that would make Onigashima explode on impact. So, we'll see. But at the very least, we do get to see her, full wolf form. And we do get a very, very small panel of Heart Pirates. One that looks as big as John Bart, but it doesn't show his face or anything, so maybe it's just another bigger guy. If it is Jean Bart, how did they get up there? Who knows? We do get the primary focus of this chapter now, which is Queen versus Sanji. Now that Zoro and King are out of the way, which are not part of this chapter, we do get to focus on, ironically, the defenses of the two combatants. Now, I say that mainly because it starts off with Sanji having a hard time getting through Queen's defenses, but that's flipped around by the very end of the chapter. Now, the middle portion is mostly gags that lead up to the big reveal, which is, really a reveal played for gags that leads up to a big reveal that's also slightly gagged out. Long story short, Queen can separate his head and tail like a snake from the rest of his body. And he crushes Sanji into a form similar to what he kicked the crap into Yanji like at the start of Whole Cake Island. Basically showing us when he pulls himself back together that he does have the same exoskeleton abilities as his siblings, which is funny considering he was above most of them, if not still on par with some of them, even without the exoskeleton. Growing stronger before even that, and then getting the exoskeleton on top of that puts him in a new class amongst even his siblings, which probably is exactly what he needed to put him on top with Zoro. And I'm not even going to go into the whole Lunarian thing. That's really just a bunch of theories we all came up with. At the end of the day, what we see right now is that he has an exoskeleton. Plain and simple. But I do want to kind of circle back to Queen's reveal, because it is just nuts. Even though it's like out of the two reveals, Queen's gets the most space, but Sanji's is the most relevant to the story, even with, Queen trying to slash at him with a sword, and the most Sanji gets is a small dent in his cheek, while he's internally thinking, I don't want to be a monster. He's a monster. Part of the monster trio, as we as the fan base call it. Because remember, that's not an official term. That's just a fan base run into the ground fan-made term. But nonetheless, Queen just, his legs and everything just detached. He really did modify himself to new extents. It really makes you think what maybe Frankie could have done if he had a similar makeup or a zone fruit. But this is just Queen showing off his scientific prowess with some more gags, because he basically has cannons in his legs that are voice pattern recognition. And when he's bragging about them and he says the name, this man literally shoots himself twice, which is funny. It's funny, but it's also kind of sad because it might nerf Queen a little bit, but it's also true to his character in many different senses. But in the end, it does get us to that point where we get to see Sanji how he is. And it's funny because not only does this pull up Sanji's, defenses in a bit, but also shows that his natural exoskeleton is basically on par with Masters of Armor and Haki, which he is to an extent as well, and he probably was using Armor and Haki on top of it. So if anything, his defensive ability was a mix of both in this case, most certainly. So I definitely love that, because it's not like he's getting beat up by Black Maria again. He was definitely using Armor and Haki during this portion. So the fact that his Armor and Haki technically failed, and he was able to put himself back together, just goes to show that he does have some pure-ass defense. Now, it's not a complete failure, as like I said, he got hit with a sword, and just a dent in the cheek. That's pretty boss. To be hit by the, third strongest member of the Beast Pirates, and only have a small dent in your cheek, that's pretty baller, not gonna lie. So what do you guys think about this chapter in total? Because I honestly really did enjoy this. And I do love Oda's gags. And I also love the face faults on Marco, Izo, Chopper, Hyogoro, and the other bosses. It was just priceless seeing all those face faults, especially Marco and Izo's specifically. So that's just beautiful. And technically speaking, Sanji had one too, but it's not the first time he's had face fault that I can think of. Either way, I've been Small as a Black Knight Anime and Manga. If you guys aren't already, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, comment what your favorite part of the chapter was. And you know what? I want to hear which of your face faults was the most unexpected. Like I said, mine was probably a tie between Marco and Izo. Until next time, stay safe.